It's 11 p.m. and these are the headlines. The President of the Republic stresses the need to consolidate the joint efforts of member states in the African Union in a speech delivered on his behalf by the Prime Minister Nabil Arbawi at the 6th semi-annual meeting between the African Union, the regional economic communities and the regional mechanisms in Accra. The National Independent Authority for the Elections keeps reviewing the individual signature subscription forms, a manual operation that requires a lot of concentration in order to ensure the conformity of the files submitted by the applicants to candidacy. The genocide in Gaza is still ongoing. The Zionist occupation army killed more than 64 Palestinians and injured 105 others, increasing the number of martyrs to 40,000 since the 7th of October. Welcome back, everyone. The President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, emphasized the necessity of devoting the principle of African solutions to African issues by intensifying the joint efforts of the member states of the African Union. In a speech delivered on his behalf by the Prime Minister Nabil Arbawi at the 6th semi-annual meeting between the African Union and the regional economic communities and the regional mechanisms in Accra, the President of the Republic stressed the need to consolidate the joint efforts of member states in the African Union, mobilizing their collective capacities to face the rapid international developments surrounding the continent and the growing internal crises. The President of the Republic added that this principle, established by the Continental Organization's founding fathers, was and remains a strategic objective that calls for strengthening the pillars of the continental structure for peace and security by completing the activation of all its mechanisms for conflict prevention and resolution, in particular the African Force, in order to make the best use of it to respond to the current challenges. The President of the Republic also reiterated Algeria's full determination to work as a non-permanent member at the UNSC to defend the interests of the African continent, raise its voice and mobilize support for the joint efforts of member states to enable the continent to play its full role in the maintenance of peace and security in Africa in accordance with the provisions of the UN Charter, pending the correction of the historical injustice against Africa regarding its representation at the UNSC level. The President recalled that Algeria's commitment comes in a context of international instability characterized by the growth of conflict zones and the inability of the international community to assume its responsibilities in the maintenance of international peace and security, citing the barbaric genocidal war launched by the occupation forces against the defenseless Palestinian people, reiterating Algeria's firm solidarity and support to them until their recovery of their full legitimate rights, especially the establishment of their independent state with Al-Quds al-Sharif as its capital. On the sidelines of his participation as the representative of the President of the Republic in the 6th semi-annual meeting of the African Union, PM Nabil Arbawi met with the President of the Islamic Republic of Mauritania and the current President of the African Union, Mohammed al-Sheikh al-Ghazbani, who conveyed to him the greetings of the President of the Republic and his willingness to continue joint efforts to enhance bilateral cooperation. For his part, the Mauritanian President conveyed his fraternal greetings and his deep appreciation to the President of the Republic, whom he described as an exceptional man. Al-Arbawi also met with the President of the Republic of Ghana, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, who conveyed his fraternal greetings to the President of the Republic while emphasizing his strong will to work for upgrading cooperation relations between the two countries and being fully prepared to visit Algeria next October. Prime Minister Nabil Arbawi also had talks with the Prime Minister of the Arab Republic of Egypt, Mustafa Madbouli, discussing bilateral cooperation and ways to raise it to the level of the historical relations linking the two brotherly countries and peoples. It was also an opportunity to affirm the common will to work together and intensify coordination based on the strategic nature of relations in order to face the challenges of the current regional and international situations. The African Union, and in its final declaration of the 6th semi-annual meeting of the African Union, announced the approval of the recommendations of the President of the Republic, Abdelmadjid Tebboune, concerning the activation of the North Africa regional capacity as one of the main pillars of the African peace and security. In the capital Accra, the Minister for Foreign Affairs and National Community Abroad held bilateral meetings. Ahmed Attaf met with the Secretary General of the Maghreb Union, Tariq bin Salim. He also met with the President of the Pan-African Parliament, Fortune Sharumbira. The two parties reviewed the efforts and activities of the Pan-African Parliament in favor of common African action. Attaf also met with the Executive Director of the African Union Development Agency, Nardos Bikili Thomas. It was the opportunity to examine major issues linked to development challenges on the African continent and ways to strengthen Algeria's membership and its contribution to support collective efforts aimed at strengthening integration and promoting development in Africa. Presidential elections now. The National Independent Authority for the Elections keeps reviewing the individual signature subscription forms, a manual operation that requires a lot of concentration in order to ensure the conformity of the files submitted by the applicants to candidacy. Asma Turki and Yasin Hamdi.
After submitting the candidacy files for the 7th of September presidential elections, the National Independent Authority for the Elections has set up commissions for the treatment of these files by taking into consideration the criteria required for their approval.
المعالجة اليدوية يتم خلالها مراقبة الاستمارات المودعة من خلال.
The manual processing consists of reviewing the subscription forms submitted before the digital processing. The ANI workers will verify the declared information and those in the forms.
سيتم معالجتها يدويا وحسب المعلومات على المنصة المعدة خصوصا لهذا الشأن.
A detailed report will be made on each submitted file. The ANI Commission will decide whether the 16 submitted candidacy files are approved or denied.
The report is presented to the ANI Commission that will decide before the deliberations on the approval or the denial of the candidacy file. The candidates will be notified.
This step is crucial, being part of the preparations of the presidential elections, and will end on the 25th of July.
And during an interview for the public Algerian television, the President of the Constitutional Court, for his part, recalled the main role of the court in this electoral process. Let's have a listen.
After the National Independent Authority for the Elections validates the list, it will send us all the files related to the candidacies as well as the final list. The Constitutional Court will review and take a decision in case of appeal, then confirm the final list to the candidates before announcing it.
And to raise awareness on the importance of the upcoming electoral deadlines, several campaigns have been launched across the country. In Mina province, the slogan "My Right to Vote" has a wide echo among citizens, and this thanks to the efforts and support of the local radio. Rania Bahri.
These regional meetings, organized by the National Association for Literacy Iqra, will make it possible to raise awareness of the need to actively participate in the presidential elections on September 7th. The initiative aired on Mila Radio was warmly welcomed by the citizens of the region, which reflect an awareness of the importance of the next electoral elections.
The next presidential elections will mark a significant step forward in the democratic process. They will also be a continuation of achievement of the President of the Republic, Abdelmadjid Tebboune, who worked on the development of Algeria on various levels. As an Algerian citizen, it matters to me very much that we are strongly involved in political participation during this event.
في المشاركة.
In recent years, great attention has been paid to youth through civil society. I invite all Algerian people to participate massively in the next elections. We got to put hand in hand and move forward.
And because awareness is necessary to strengthen the national cohesion, which is the keystone that will allow us to overcome all obstacles and meet the challenge that hinder progress. This Awareness Day, organized by Mila Radio, was dedicated to the dissemination of this campaign.
We have scheduled 4 regional meetings. The objective of these is to raise awareness among citizens and teachers on the need to actively contribute to the success of this national event.
Through its National Literacy Program and its supervisors, the Iqra National Association seeks to raise the level of awareness and political training for various categories of society.
Now, to help and guide the baccalaureate graduates through the process of choosing a university and a specialty, the Ministry of Higher Education and Scientific Research has launched a platform that facilitates these procedures.
Explore Your Chances in Guidance is the name of the digital app developed to facilitate the selection process of university specialization based on the results obtained in the Baccalaureate 2024.
This app is meant to help in making a decision regarding the specialization using the marks that the graduates got.
After filling the required information, the artificial intelligence searches for the best choices for the student.
This platform allows the 2024 baccalaureate graduates to see what's most suitable for them only by adding the registration number, since that the app contains all this year's graduates' results obtained from the Higher Education Ministry.
With this app, the confusion of finding the best specialization is thankfully eliminated.
And a great rush on the purchase of air conditioners during this hot summer period. Algerian products are increasingly competitive, like the national leader, Canal, who offers products with international standards, manufactured in Bourj Bouarij province. Lydia Makian, Rania Al-Bahri.
With a production capacity of 5,000 units per day, this energy-efficient air conditioner manufacturing unit supplies the local market and quality products, thanks to Algerian expertise and labor.
Daily production capacity is around 100 tons per day in one shift. After the stage of cutting the sheet according to the programming, we move on to the press workshop where we have more than 200 molds, allowing us to manufacture all the metal parts, which are then sent to the assembly unit.
اللي يتم تصنيع جميع الأجزاء المعدنية وإرسالها إلى وحدة التجميع. ورانا نشوفوا في التصنيع تاع.
We manufacture condensers and evaporators, which are key elements of the air conditioning system. In addition, our technicians have benefited from training abroad, and currently we have the latest updates and the most advanced technologies in the field. I have worked in this unit for 12 years and the terminal converter manufacturing workshop. We have all the means to guarantee a high-quality product.
By covering the national market with excellent quality products, notably inverter air conditioners, the company has established itself on the national market while investing in certain external markets, opening up new growth prospects.
We strive to have abundant production to control prices. Our production capacity exceeds the needs of the local market, and we now export to the neighboring countries such as Tunisia, Libya, the Middle East, notably Jordan.
These industrial investments, which have high integration rates, will make it possible to strengthen both the national and regional industrial businesses.
The genocide in Gaza is still ongoing. The Zionist occupation army killed more than 64 Palestinians and injured 105 others, thus increasing the number of martyrs in the Palestinian enclave to around 40,000 since the 7th of October. Despite these daily massacres and the horrifying number, the international community keeps watching with a blind eye. Yasir Hamdi.
Tens of Palestinians were murdered and others were injured by the Zionist entity following bombardments in various areas of the Gaza Strip. The Zionist army bombed the Tel al-Hawa neighborhood in the southwest of Gaza, while the ambulances of the Palestinian Red Crescent transferred the corpses of 6 martyrs to the hospital. In the Jabalia camp, the Zionist occupier targeted a house in Al-Alami neighborhood, which killed tens of civilians. In the Boraid refugee camp, 3 Palestinians were murdered and others were injured after fighter aircrafts bombed a house. In the south of the Gaza Strip, the occupation forces bombed the residential units in the west of Rafah, and the artillery attacked Khan Yunis. The Zionist genocide against the Palestinians caused a catastrophic humanitarian crisis, as the decomposing waste is piling up since months because the access to the principal Gaza dumps is blocked by the Zionist entity that deliberately targeted and bombed the vital infrastructures. This situation caused contagious diseases, especially among the displaced people. The Zionist occupation forces continue their land, maritime and aerial attacks against the Gaza Strip since the 7th of October 2023, thus killing almost 40,000 Palestinians and injuring 89,500 others, while thousands of martyrs are still under the rubble and on the roads because the civil defense teams are unable to reach them.
And Algeria strongly condemned this Sunday the blatant Zionist aggression against Yemen, calling on the international community to assume its full responsibilities and not to allow the criminal occupation to escape responsibility, stated the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and National Committee Abroad in a communique. In a summer camp set in Musdaganem province, children of our community abroad are having the best moments while learning about their country's history and heritage. Salim Houari and Najh Diyar.
Musdaganem, as any other coastal city, has welcomed the vacationers residing abroad for the best summer getaway alongside the Mediterranean waters, such as these children who are engaging in a varied schedule starting at 8 a.m.
We thank our president for the organization of these holidays. We are very lucky. We visited many sites and we are very happy to be here.
And to miss no touristic site that Musdaganem has, the children head to the historical and cultural sites after every lunch.
We already have a good knowledge of Algeria's history. What made us even more attached to it today, we had the chance to explore other facets of our history.
The educational program drawn up allows these children to know better about their country's history, remains and touristic sites in Musdaganem province.
With these vacations agenda set up for the Algerian community abroad, the children will definitely have fun, learn a good deal and get stronger bonds with their country, Algeria.
And that was it for today's news. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.